Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for watching, thanks for commenting, subscribing. If you've seen my videos before, I have some painting videos, I have some hairstyling videos, I do all sorts of random stuff, just whatever I feel like putting up. But today I'm going to be doing a video about my motorcycle, and it's going to be a couple different videos here probably, but I'm going to be doing how to paint, how to change spark plugs, and then also how to do brakes. All pretty simple, well, at least for me. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave it below. I try and get back to comments whenever I can. And yeah, be sure to subscribe and check out my channel. Thanks for watching. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off my seat. Then I need to take off the two bolts that are right here. So also, my bike comes with these little side pieces that I need to take off. You probably don't need to take them off necessarily, but it does make it a lot easier. So make sure you put all your little nuts, bolts, pieces, everything all together. I like to put them in the little tray for my tools because if you're like me, you've definitely lost some parts before. But for me, I know where everything goes, so you might even want to like coordinate it to where it goes if you're getting really in depth with something. Because losing parts is never fun, especially for motorcycles. You gotta go try and find the same part, or to try and find it for an older motorcycle. Okay, so this is where it gets tricky with the tank. It kind of pulls up and out. There is like a little hook up in the front here, so you need to make sure that that clears. And then the pain part with this is going to be the fact that I have to get the fuel line disconnected as well. Oop, there goes my little rubber grommet for my tank. So I have a video about how to do an air filter with this guy, and with the air filter you can actually change it without even taking the tank completely off, but it can be kind of difficult. Most bikes have like this little runoff cord too, so you want to make sure that that is free as well, because if this is stuck somewhere and you try and take your tank off, you're going to rip the cord off from the top part, and you don't want to have to deal with that. That's not fun. So for me, I have this little piece for the fuel line, and most fuel lines have a little snappy or like pull down piece that locks it into place. So you want to make sure that this piece is pulled off before you try and pull your fuel line out. Otherwise you'll be yanking for days and nothing will go anywhere. All right, fuel tank off. That was not fun. Okay, so now I got everything all undone. I might even take a look at my air filter too, because air filter is exposed. Okay, so for the airbox, take a look inside here. You're gonna see there's 4 little kind of, I think they're Torx or Star Allen wrench style little screws in there. Those are the pieces that you need to remove to take out the airbox. Okay, so I have an extension hooked up to a little 5-piece. You can probably also use a little Allen wrench for this, but should work pretty good. Okay, now we should be able to release her. There we are. Okay, so there's the airbox. Got my screws inside, so let's get those out. Okay. I'm also going to clean this guy a little bit because it's a little bit dirty inside there. Seems like the air filter isn't getting everything, which is not good. Okay. And now we are to the spark plugs. So we're right here. And really hope I have the right extensions to actually get to them, because sometimes spark plugs can be a total pain in the butt. Pain in the butt. Okay, so to get these out, I'm just going to use a pliers and just kind of not squeeze too hard, but just enough so that I can pull up on it. And of course the second one doesn't want to go. I made sure to practice this so that it would go good on the second try, and of course it doesn't want to because it knows that I am shooting. Just can't get enough leverage on my hand. There we go. Okay. There are little electrical clips on here, so you're going to want to make sure to take those out. And then make sure you know which one goes where in the end, because if you screw these up later, they're going to be firing to the wrong cylinder. You don't want that. So there's the top piece. Just going to make sure that those are cleaned out as well. And for most spark plugs, you're going to need to get a spark plug attachment. So I like to use it with a swivel because usually it's not a straight shot. And looks like I'll need an extension as well. So have one plug out. One little trick that you can use to get your plugs out is sometimes when they get stuck in there, if you have the right kind of piece, sometimes these come with like a little rubber grommet on the end here, or the end should be able to actually kind of suck up the spark plug a little bit, but a lot of times it doesn't, just because it depends on how big the head is for it. What you can do is stick this guy back in here, connect it to the plug, and voila, there's your plug. So that'll save you a lot of time from like trying to use like a pliers or something, or a magnet to try and get it out. Just one little trick to help you out with your spark plug. Okay, so now new plugs. Okay, so we can kind of do the same thing going back in. Connect this guy. At least give it a little bit of space. Okay, got it back in. This time I really just screwed this around. It was a lot easier than using the actual ratchet to go through. So put the piece back in there. You should hear a little pop or a little suction. And then you just want to make sure that it's in there. Connect your wires back. I want to make sure these wires are not actually touching the engine block, because they'll eventually get messed up. Okay, so spark plugs are done. Pretty easy. If you have a inline 4, sometimes you can actually get at the spark plugs from the front of the mic, or from the front of the bike, and other times I've had even crazier stuff where I had to take apart carburetors and stuff to get to the spark plugs. This one's pretty easy as far as spark plugs go. Cars can be pretty simple too. Okay, so hardest part for me, this whole ordeal, was getting the air filter back in. There's a piece down here that connects to the engine. It's kind of just like a breathing tube. And then just making sure that all the pieces were fitting at the same time. Then I also dropped one of the nuts, or sorry, one of the bolts inside. So then I had to like fish at it with my hand for a while. So when you go back into here, you probably want to feed the bolt back in with you, or with it. So yeah, so got it all back in. Just gonna put all the pieces back together, and then should be all set for the spark plugs. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any questions about your bike, might be a little bit different, but yeah, catch you on the flip side.